This podcast is brought to you by listeners like you through Patreon and Coffee.com. Thank you. We're also brought to you by Libris Arcana. Stay tuned during this podcast for more information and promo codes.
All right. I don't know where they do. Would I know where they do hangings at all?
Probably out in the same cemetery as the guy was talking about.
All right. So I'm gonna go into another alley. Should I roll stealth again, or should we just assume I'm stuck?
Yeah, roll stealth again. Let's just see what happens. 22. You are the knight.
Yeah, I'm gonna change back into Alonzo and back into my outfit, and then I'm gonna head out for that cemetery.
Right. It's been a few hours, and you have to literally go on the road that goes past your guys' house, anyways. And as you go past the house, it's been a bit. The front door is wide open.
I'm gonna like, what the heck? And I'm gonna kind of and pop my head in.
You're gonna pop your head in. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone. So you're back from investigating the downstairs and looking at the horrible altar and also losing Nilkis. What's the general mood right now for everyone?
Well, right now we don't really. Just to clarify, our characters don't know that Nilkis is gone, like for real yet, right?
Mm-hmm. No, you would not know that he's gone. You just know that he turned into shadows and dissipated.
Does anyone else sense Nilkis in any way? It seemed like he was kind of half.
Is all supposed to be open?
I don't see him.
Shoot.
Are we looking for Nilkis?
Where were you?
You know, just taking a stroll.
Darn,
Did I miss much?
Yes.
Why is the door open? Are you getting a breath of air?
I wish that was the case.
Did I miss something important?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, you did miss something.
Is gone. And
gone
not just
where?
It's hard to explain. Something to do with a creepy altar downstairs.
Oh, gods, he touched it.
So you saw it too.
See a little. Now, what happened exactly?
So it started when we were asleep. In fact, Norik and everyone kind of pretty much grouped everyone together.
Yeah. I was in my dream, and Muldra came. Herberta. But
long story.
Anyway, she rallied us all together in our dreams, and we had to go rescue Nilkis. But then then he disappeared, and we all woke up, and he was kind of, there was a shadow where he was sitting,
It's
and then there was some movement of some things in the house, and we tried to follow it, but then I don't know anymore. He's gone. There's no sign. I haven't seen any more movement. Some weird magic stuff going on here.
So a mule rallied you to save him, but he disintegrated.
it's a long story with Herberta.
Okay.
A long story.
We'll come back to that. But so he's just gone.
I don't know. I mean, there's no
It
sign
was
of him.
like he was here, but he wasn't.
Well, I mean, I suppose these things happen.
You can give me an Arcana check to see if you can
That's an
pinpoint.
excellent idea.
Yep.
Ooh.
1 and 2.
That's-
Let me whisper a thing to you.
While this is being relayed, I think Rand's gonna say, Alonso, I want to have a word with you later on, just as a basic understanding. Just
that
would
can
you
be
invite it?
arranged. All right. Yes, of course. Yes. I'll only need a minute. I'm just sort of doing some thinking. Yes. I need to do some thinking, some cleric things. You understand? There's just much to be done. Someone vanishes. You understand? Just sort of.
Yeah, I know, not now.
out.
I know, not now. Noka's first.
Well, and he just kind of straightens up, like he's remembered something. He's kind of figured it out. If what you're saying is true, I don't. And he seems to struggle for a minute, and his face kind of blanks, and he just stays blank for a minute, and then it kind of comes back, and he's like his expression. I mean, and he's just like, I don't think Nilkis is coming back.
What happened?
Well, you are aware there are other planes of existence, yes. He's not on this one anymore, and that's about it. And yes, well, that's about the sum of it. Now, if you'll excuse me just for a minute, and he's gonna dart out of the room, trying to be suave, but going a little too fast.
Hey!
And in a minute, I'd like to consult Tangled, or try to call on Tangled.
All right, and that takes a religion check to see if you knock and he answers.
Right, let's see. Religion. Oh! The one time it counts.
4. So, you lift up the phone, dial the number, and all you get is a busy signal.
Tangled.
I think Rayan would follow after him and say, "What gives?"
He's just standing there in the middle of the kitchen, just like twitching slightly, just looking around. I'm praying, if you must pry. And he just seems a little bit like off kilter, and he kind of goes to the counter and he just kind of leans on it, and he's gonna start toying with the little jar of almonds that Nilka's forced him to eat out of.
Oh.
What, Tangle's not responding or something?
I didn't say I was praying to him.
You talk to him more than you let on.
I talk to a lot of gods. I'm a cleric. What was it? We might as well have that private conversation now. And I want to sleight of hand the jar of almonds. Just so that I don't want her to see that I'm taking them.
Can I do a perception?
Yes and yes.
Yeah, he's taking something from the kitchen, and I'm gonna notice if he's maybe noticed.
Oh.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Alonso. Yeah, both of you notice that Alonso has something in his hands at the moment, and he's really trying to conceal it from you two.
What now?
Alonzo?
Oh,
Something
no,
strange
I
is
didn't.
going on, and it's not just you with the almonds.
And almonds, is that what these are? And he's just gonna put them back, just kind of slowly slide them back, and like his hand lingers for just a little bit too long, and he pulls it back.
We're going to pause things for a moment and have a word from our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by listeners like you through Patreon and Coffee.com. Thank you. We're also brought to you by Libris Arcana. Do you like role-playing games but you have no dice? Are you a dice dragon and just need a horde dice? Libris Arcana has you covered. Libris Arcana offers both a monthly and quarterly subscription to get dice. Yeah, that's right. They send you dice monthly or every 3 months. They also sell individual dice sets and great leather protective book covers for your gaming manuals. Go to www.librisarcana.com. That's LIBRISARCANA.com to find out more. And if you use the promo code SwordfallFan, you get a discount. Look in the description below for more details. And now back to the story.
Rayad, you wanted to have that private conversation, yes? Perhaps we can do that now.
If you don't mind, I'll join.
Norik, I think that rather changes the definition of a private conversation, don't you think?
Brian is going to butt in and say, "Do you speak Elven?"
Excuse me? Oh, you're speaking to him. Sorry.
No, she's saying it in Elven.
Oh, let me check what I actually speak, because I actually don't remember.
I think you speak both
I do.
Wooden
And
and Elven.
I'm going to reply in Elven, yes, I do, as a matter of fact.
All right.
Oh, geez,
There's
you
a way
switched to a
we can
different
handle-
language.
And Ash is behind you and he's like, come on, let's go. Apparently they need some space.
And as Norik is leaving,
And glaring as he's leaving.
I can't think of anything cunning, but he's gonna make a rude joke about Norik and Elven and just like smirk at him.
I want to insight check that.
I'm making it very obvious that it's a rude joke. I'm just saying it in another language so you can't call
Okay.
me out.
I don't know, like, Elven is a very pretty language, so I'm going to say he does have to do an insight check.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I know you're making fun of me.
You know.
I'm just gonna
I'm
do
making.
I'm gonna point at my eyes and then point at you type of gesture, like I'm watching you as I'm walking out.
And he just kind of waves you away, like, of course. He's gonna turn back to Rayad. So, what did you want to talk about?
Now, you have to understand, I'm a very paranoid person, and I'm not trying to blame you on anything. I just find it...
I'm sorry, but I'm not a therapist. I
What
say
was-
I'm not a therapist. I can't help you with paranoia.
I'm not asking you to. I'm just saying, I find it a little too ironic how someone who listens to Tangle shows up not too long after I walk away from him. Is there something you want to talk to me about with that?
Well,
I won't
something I
tell
want-
old man York.
to talk about.
Come on.
And he's just gonna laugh. Well, there are a lot of things I'd like to talk about. You know, you happen to have a certain liking for magical items, and I happen to know great many contacts who might be able to get you some magical items. That is something I've wanted to discuss with you for a while, because I think a business of that sort might be very beneficial for both of us. But as to gods and so on, I wouldn't read too much into it. You know how these things go.
Not here to preach to me or annoy me because of that.
No, I'm not a preaching kind of cleric. I'm more of the of sort of cheap wedding on-call cleric, if you will.
Rand, quickly, can you
Yes.
roll me a wisdom saving throw?
Sure.
Oh no, am I doing something?
Okay, you can suppress your excitement for someone offering you magic items if you wish to.
Rayanne's eyes light up at the most. Like she heard like a chiming word.
Alonso's gonna kind of notice this, and he's gonna smile and be like, "I understand you quite like magic. Perhaps we could arrange something sometime. I do have to get some sleep at some point. I've been just wandering around all night. But
All right.
maybe in the morning. Maybe in the morning."
Fair enough. And she just reaches out her hand like to give out her handshake.
And Alonso's gonna shake it, and he has kind of a wet fish handshake.
Glad we have a mutual understanding.
Yes, I'm sure you will yes. He just kind of falls limp because he doesn't actually want to be having this conversation, but he's trying really hard to pretend he does. And he's going to kind of just turn and walk out. And he's going to look at the jar of almonds one last time and then just like look away and just walk out a little bit too quickly.
So, does everybody go back to bed?
Norik is going to be standing just a little bit outside the kitchen, down the hall, just waiting to see them walk out.
Alonso kind of walks doggedly by him towards his room.
And just gonna stare him down, as Alonso's walking by. Norik has his eyes on him, and it's just following him as he walks down the hallway with his
Alonso
eyes.
tries to look amused, but can't quite pull it off.
Yeah. So, Alonso, you go back to your room.
Yes, I do. And
Rand,
shut the door and lock it.
Yep. Probably unlock it, then relock it, but
Yeah.
Yep. Rand, do you go back to your room?
I guess so. What time is it?
It's like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning right now.
Yep. Bedtime.
And when Rand's walking past me, Norik's just gonna say quietly, "Remember Gavin."
That's why I was trying to settle things with him. I just wanted to assure that he wasn't there to cause trouble or preach to me about him.
Okay.
He said he wasn't. Still keeping my guard up. But yeah.
I'm trusting you. Have a good
I
night's sleep.
get it. You as well.
And Norik will wait till she walks off and is already gone in her room till he heads upstairs.
Okay. And so everybody goes back to the room. Do you all sleep when you go back to your room, or do you stay awake, or how's everyone feeling about Nilkus might not come back?
I mean, Rayanne is pretty darn bummed because there's someone on her side of, like, there was a troublemaker who was on her side. She knew that was on her side for the most part. And now he's gone.
Norik will go back to his room up in the sort of loft attic type of room. But he's going to sit on the floor facing the window and sit cross-legged, and he's going to meditate and just see what he can recall of if there was anything while he was at his monastery anything he saw or read about other planes of existence.
That sounds like a check of... let's make it a history check. 13? Okay. We'll get on that pretty soon. And Alonso, do you just go right to sleep, or do you linger up for a little bit, or...
You know what? He paces his floor for a minute, and then he just something in him snaps a little bit, and he's gonna try to sneak it back out of the house because he's still got stuff to do.
Okay, cool. So, Norik, you rolled the history check, and I have a thing to whisper to you.
Oh boy, I got a whisper. That's not very common.
Actually, how much D&D knowledge do you have about, like, planes and stuff?
Basic.
Oh, that's basically what you rolled. So you know that the reality is made up of, different planes. There's like a plane of pure of fire, and
there's
one of
elemental
water.
planes, there's celestial, there's
Yep.
Others.
Yeah, things that are dark reflections of this reality. And you also know that there are like nexuses between all these planes. And some of them are very easy to get into, and some of them you literally have to die to get into. Or have your body and soul merge as one to get into these places. And that can be super duper dangerous. And that's basically what you can remember.
So, would this have seemed like perhaps the latter?
Yeah, the super dangerous. You either have to die or merge your body and soul into one. Yep.
Well, after meditating and trying to maintain a bit of composure once again, Norik will finish resting.
This podcast is powered by listeners like you. Thanks. Please like, comment, rate, share, and subscribe wherever you can. Consider supporting us through Patreon, Ko-fi.com, or by hitting the listener support button on our Anchor.fm page. Follow and interact with us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Discord. For all these links, look in the description below. If you liked our podcast, consider listening to these other great podcasts.
Actual play comedy podcasts are awesome. We can all agree on this, right? What if they're in outer space? Or have a cast that don't take themselves too seriously? If you think yes to any of these questions, then you'll love Experience Points. We're all queer cast playing Starfinder while trying to survive whatever bombshells our GM Miyu can dream up for us. We're an impulsive bunch who like to rush into things, which has landed us into some surprising situations. Have you ever accidentally wandered onto an undead nude beach, woken up on a haunted ship that's about to explode, gone fishing in space? We have. Come join in the adventure as we traverse the galaxy, leaving a trail of pink glitter in our wake. We're a diverse group who have combined our passions for tabletop role-playing to craft the tale of the Adventure Hookers, a band of unlikely adventurers who are in completely over their heads. Listen to Experience Points today wherever you find fine podcasts. Then, come say hi to us on Facebook at Experience Points or on Twitter at EQ Points. We'll be sure to unroll the pink carpet and have a cup of space chamomile waiting for you.